All right. This is a one and only last minute Steam sale from the Autumn Sale 2023. This is something that I see a lot of people do, but they always miss out on the gems that I've found. So you can consider this somewhat of a curated stream for anybody that has different tastes, maybe similar to mine. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to go through about 10 games, not many at all. As you can see, I'm installing Void Train right now. I've been keeping an eye on it. I'm going to play that with the game, so that's not one of my recommendations. Um, so first off, I'm going to have to recommend Axiom Verge for only $5. You're going to see Korean won. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in Korea. You're going to see it's about $5, I think, in American dollars. It'll be. This is literally the nail on the head clone of Super Metroid SNES version. If you enjoyed Super Metroid with the speed run and everything, it's got it for you. So I'm gonna have to recommend that. I've only started playing today, but it captured my heart immediately. Another game I have to recommend is the Matchless Kung Fu. So I know usually people go between $10 $15 for these sales, but this is a newer game in early access. It's very similar to a lot of people compare it to Kenshi, but if you look at Kenshi, it looks outdated. It's still a fun game. You can do anything, and this game is kind of boasting the same concept. You can do anything. It's a mixture of deck building, world building, board game mechanics, and kind of rock paper scissors style card fighting. It's interesting swiping around the screen to make combos and stuff. Very rock paper scissors, but you determine it, like what you want your style to be, and you have different power ups. So it's not just repetitive rock paper scissors. You'll have, like, say, enough punch combos to do a punch power up, which can freeze your opponent or strike them with like misfortunes. The game has been yielding a lot of positive results, and I wasn't a fan at first because the tutorial was really losing me. So you can see in this picture here is 1 2 3 4 5 fighting moves that kind of go in rock paper scissors mode. It's very typical, but you can gear your dude up, get people to follow you, start your own clan. I highly recommend it if you like those sandbox open world games, especially if you're into like kung fu or martial arts. All right, next one I'm going to recommend is Small Land. Small Land is basically Valheim in Grounded combined, like their love child, I guess you can call it. I didn't quite do a review yet. It's like an official recommendation, I guess, because I'm still playing it and garnering my opinion on it, but I really like it because I love world building, crafting and open world survival games, and this kind of does it different, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Valheim with bugs, someone said. It's accurate. It's Valheim with bugs. I'll take that. And it's only, it's a new game, but for being 25% off as a new game in early access, I'm gonna recommend it, even though it's a little pricey at this current stage. It's came out this year, and that's a justifiable discount price. Um, I'm gonna have to recommend also. I don't want to recommend this game, but I have to because look, it's only it's the price of like a soda at a McDonald's or something. It's so cheap, and you're gonna find a lot of racism, bad jokes, obnoxious trolls. But the good news is, this sounds like bad. It sounds all bad, but the good news is you're gonna meet people that you find have like-minded individuality or common sense, and also other commonalities like games. I played a demonologist with some people on here recently. A high top of the list recommendation is Barotrauma. This game got officially released finally this year in March. It just came out of early access, but I've been, as you can see, been playing for a few years already. I love this game. It's one of my favorites. It is $20, but that's a really good discount price for it, I believe. It might go higher in winter sale. Don't quote me on that. We can't guarantee that. That's why I'm going out on the autumn sale this time around, because last time it screwed me. We're at overwhelmingly positive. It's very physics oriented. What the? That's different. Very physics-oriented management game with a underwater craft, as you would call a submarine, I guess. You can whip it out how you want. That's what she said. You can upgrade it, stylize it, color it, stuff like that. It's a fully customizable game. You can even put your friends' faces on the characters. And you can also use the built-in mod system to change the enemies and edit how they look or whatever when you play the game. I think it's fantastic. I haven't really messed with that yet. But this is like my number one recommendation. Another one's Maximum Action. You're going to see a negative review here because I did this in 2019, but now it's 2023. They're updating slowly, but it's actually a lot closer to like a full-on game now. If you liked games like, say, I can't remember. It's easy to say GoldenEye, 007, Perfect Dark, that sort of thing, but high intense violence. They kind of go off of like Hong Kong cinema, Max Payne, slow motion type stuff, but it's redundant gameplay, but highly rewarding redundancy, if that makes sense. They have like missions and stuff, free mode. There's barely complaints about it, but it's pretty good. But if you look at the price, it's hard to say no for 50% off. I would definitely get that because I returned it at one point and then I got it again. All right, I'm gonna have to say Space Beast Terror Fright's another. I'm gonna call it a gem because it's kind of an old school first-person shooter that kind of builds off the idea of claustrophobia, aliens, fear. Your visor reacts to fear and damage. You can lose flashlight from damage, and your sensor, your radar will break. And the whole objective, look at that, $6. And with a few games that have a 4-pack, you can get that with friends. I have one left from the pack. I will give it to you if you message me and say you want Space Beast Terror Fright, and you can play with me, Engage, MP0. And I really enjoy it. So you're going to see a lot of positivity about this game. This person said mixed bag, but if you play with friends, I highly recommend it. Again, look at that. It's like $5 US. Then I think I have one more recommendation. Everybody knows Tabletop Simulator. It's always going to be recommended by me. And I think that's about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 7 recommendations. I had a couple more. I tried doing this last night, and my, thing didn't work. The stream. How about Void Crew? I could recommend Void Crew. It is 20% off at $20. It's a relatively newer game. It's still in early access, so that discounted price is pretty good. I think it's been around 15% off in the past, and it might go on sale again for the winter sale. This is a strictly co-op. You could solo it if you want, but it's more enjoyable with friends where you're piloting a ship, repairing it, a la Sea of Thieves, but you're against AI, and there's really no other danger besides losing the missions, because if you die, you just come back in the game, and then if your ship explodes, then you'd lose, but that hardly happens. Collecting various treasures, which gives you points, and upgrades, mostly cosmetic, and skill trees. I think there's 4 different roles in the game. It's pretty fun, so I recommend that one. And there's nothing really else for me to recommend right now that I've gone through and found. I've bought a few games and returned them. Oh, here's my last one, Neo Scavenger. This is always going to be a recommendation. It's old now. It's 2014. I reviewed it in 2014. I've put in, let's see, it's kind of a pick up, put down game. 191 hours. I say each game can last from either 5 minutes, if you're unlucky in the beginning. The random generation is usually your starting point, kind of where everything is. But they've been kinder to you. The dev, it's one guy, he's updated it to where like they'll give you a sleeping bag in the beginning so you don't freeze to death, because that's where most deaths came from. And your objective is just survive. It has a really realistic, location-specific damage system. The mechanics for fighting and healing are insane. So if you get a gash in your arm, you got to clean it, you got to wrap it. If it gets infected, you need antibiotics. You need a bag to carry stuff. There's things fall apart. You can combine them almost. There's like a ton of craftable recipes. It's really intuitive. It's got a lot of hate for being a permadeath kind of game. You lose everything when you die. You can save it when you leave the game and come back. It could last, like I said, 5 minutes up to a couple hours if you're really lucky. Longer if you've been playing veteran. And I have to recommend the game, especially at another cup of coffee price here. All right. Anyway, that is my recommendations for the last minute autumn sale. I just wanted to do that because, as I said, people on YouTube were recommending games that weren't really fitting my style or things I already had, and then I didn't like them as much. I'm like, how are they gonna? They kind of piggyback other people's ideas, not curate their own. Either that or they don't dig deep enough. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Me and Gage are gonna do some gaming with this Void train after it's done stalling. So stick around for that, or watch him if you want his channel. All right, that's all. Have a good one. Bye.